imlaq, and not to kill your children, sharing poverty. نحن نرزقكم وإياكم وإياهم. We will provide for you and them. ولا تقربوا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن, and not to come close to fawahish, evil, lewd, unjust deeds, despicable, lowly deeds, that which is apparent and that which is hidden or in secret. ولا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق, and not to kill a soul unjustly except that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permitted and allowed. نعم ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون. That is what you advise you with, that you may gain piety. ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي أحسن, and don't come to the wealth of the orphans except that which is by way of goodness, meaning that which is allowed to spend wisely for their sake. حتى يبلغ أشده, until they reach an age where they are wise enough to spend it wisely themselves and they are responsible. وأوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط, and fulfill the correct measurement when you measure and when you weigh. Make sure you do not cheat others. Make sure you do not steal from others and take from what that is belonging to them and what is their rights. And Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah added the great benefit that this also includes, as Allah said in Surah Al-Mutaffifin, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا اكْتَالُوا عَلَى النَّاسِ يَسْتَوْفُونَ وَإِذَا كَالُوهُمْ أَوْ وَزَنُوهُمْ يُخْسِرُونَ. Woe to those mutaffifin. Who are the mutaffifun? They are those, when they want something for themselves, they want full rights. But when they have to give it to others, they become short and deficient, short-handed, deficient, tight-fisted. And Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah said, example is a husband and wife. The wife wants everything from the husband, and if he falls short, it's as if he's never done anything. And likewise, the husband wants his rights from his wife, but when she falls short, it's as if she did nothing. So don't be like those mutaffifun. الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون. A whole nation was punished because they did not fulfill. They were not just when it came to weighing and giving the rights of the people. They were destroyed. And these are not so this is not from the correct character. So وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ بِالْقِسْطِ لَا نُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا وَإِذَا قُلْتُمْ فَاعْدِلُوا. Another advice, and when you speak, then be just, be upright. وَلَوْ كَانَ هَذَا قُرْبَى, even if it's against someone of your relatives, and someone close, someone from your family. You have to be just, even against yourself. وَبِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ أَوْفُوا, and with the ahd, the pact between you and Allah, you should fulfill it. That pact between you and Allah, you should fulfill it. ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. That is what He has advised you with, that you may ponder and reflect and remember. And the last advice, the 10th advice, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُمْ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ ذَلِكُمْ وَصَّاكُمْ بِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ. The last advice is that you follow and take the straight path. So follow. What is that mustaqim? Sirat al-mustaqim, some of the scholars explain it, Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah explained it, that sirat which is straight, and that sirat which is flat. It is the shortest, and even the longest path, it is the shortest path. So Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah, used to say, ترجو النجاة ولن تسلك مسالكها إن السفينة لا تجري على اليبس. You want salvation, you want success in salvation and victory, but you don't tread His path. Indeed, the ship does not sail through dry land, it's water to sail. Therefore, also we need Tawheed and Sunnah to be saved, upon salvation. And so therefore, this is the Sirat Mustaqim. So follow it, and do not follow other paths, so they will lead you away from His path. So we read that to you. Na'am, and the A'imma, they take, they strive to explain these verses, because these verses are great indeed. And look what this great companion Ubadah ibn Samit said, radiallahu anhu. He said that the Messenger said, Ayyukum yubayi'ni, which of you would give me bay'ah upon these upon these 3 verses, yani that contain these 10 advice. وَتَعَالَتْ مَا حَرَّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ حَتَّى فَرَغَ مِنْ 3 ayat. So he read the 3 verses and showing you that this is a reason now that the Prophet stressed. And then the Prophet said, Man wafqa bihinna fa'aj'al Allah. Whoever fulfills these 10 verses, he's upright, he's just, he's good to the open, he's good, he's just when he gives, and he's just when he speaks. SubhanAllah, he's upon Tawheed, first and foremost, away from shirk. And he's a person who is also dutiful and kind to his parents. Man wafqa, Rasulullah said, Man wafqa, whoever fulfills these 10 characteristics, فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ, his reward is with Allah. وَمَنْ انْتَقَصَ مِنْهُمْ شَيْئًا صَدَقَهُ اللَّهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا كَانَتْ عُقُوبَتَهُ. Look at what he said. If you are short in any one of these 10 pieces of advice or 10 wasaya from the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then it may be that Allah punishes you in the dunya, or it may be that Allah delays your situation to the akhirah, and your affair is with Allah. Allahu Akbar. And your affair is with Allah. In sha'a akhada, if Allah wills, He takes him. This is other than shirk. The shirk, He will take him anyway. If a person dies upon shirk, calling upon other than Allah, relying upon other than Allah, loving other than Allah, more than Allah, this person, he will be in the hellfire anyway, forever. But the one who dies upon major sins, that has been haram, that has been made haram, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He will, He punishes him. And if He will, He forgives him. وَإِنْ شَاءَ عَفَى عَنْهُ. Now, this hadith is mentioned by Ibn Abi Hatim and al-Hakim, who said it's authenticated it. And that be agreed. Here, Shaykh Sulaiman, what did he say? The Imam, what did he say? فهذا يدل على أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعتني بهم. This shows us, this hadith shows us that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم took care of these 10 pieces of advice, these 3 verses. He took care of them. اعتنى بهم ويبالغ في الحث على العمل بهم. And he strove with much effort in explaining the importance of acting by these 10 pieces of advice. And then we move on to the advice of the hadith of Mu'adh al-Jabal radiyallahu anhu. Mu'adh al-Jabal, the most knowledgeable in halal and haram. Mu'adh al-Jabal radiyallahu anhu, the Prophet sent him to Yemen. Who loved him. The Prophet loved him. He said, Ya Mu'adh, inni uhibbuk. Oh Mu'adh, I love you. Mu'adh al-Jabal radiyallahu anhu, who cried because he had to depart and go to Yemen. He wanted to stay, but the Prophet ﷺ gave him this duty in order for him to be able to pay his debts. Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu. نعم. عن معاذ الجبل رضي الله عنه قال كنت رديف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم على حمار. I was riding behind the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم upon a donkey. Look at the humility of Rasulullah. He's humble upon a donkey. He's riding, and Mu'adh al-Jabal riding behind him. So it's the allowance of that. فقال لي يا معاذ, and he said to me, oh Mu'adh, أتدري ما حق الله على العباد? You know what the rights of Allah upon His servants are? وما حق العباد على الله? And what the rights of Allah upon His servants? فقلت الله ورسوله أعلم. If you don't know the answer, if you Allah A'lam, Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, to say Allah A'lam is for knowledge. Allah A'lam, وذلك من العلم. To say Allah A'lam. Allah says, ولا تكف ما ليس لك بعلم. إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. Don't go into that which you have no knowledge, because your hearing, your sight, and your heart, all of it will be questioned. So don't speak about Allah without knowledge. Don't speak about the deen of Allah without knowledge. Allah said, after you mention shirk, وَأَنْ تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, and that you say about Allah that which you don't know. So here, Mu'adh bin Jabal said, Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam. Mata Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam? Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam? They said it because he was alive. But after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they only say Allahu a'lam. قال, the Prophet said, حق الله على العباد أن يعبدوه ولا يشركوا به شيئا. The right of Allah upon His servants is that they should worship Him alone and not commit shirk with Him in anything. وحق العباد على الله, in one direction, in فعل ذلك, أن لا يعذب من لا يشرك به شيئا, that He will not punish those who do not commit shirk with Him in anything. فقلت يا رسول الله, so Mu'adh رضي الله عنه is so happy with this hadith. He said, oh Messenger of Allah, أفلا أبشر الناس? Shouldn't I tell the people, give them this glad tidings? The Sahaba, this is what they used to be upon. They said, look, so Ya Abdullah, Allah, give glad tidings to each other. Well, good day to come to you. Naam, and the one that you are telling you trust, they tell them the good news. Naam, if you say some ayn from someone, or some shiful eye from someone, then don't switch it, don't tell them. Maybe they will have ayns over you. They say to those who, inshallah, you trust, those who are close, give them good tidings and bad tidings. If it's something specific to you. If it's general, then alhamdulillah. That which is general is general. For all of us to benefit, inshallah, all of us. Here, the Prophet said to them, لا تبشرهم. Do not give them these glad tidings. يعني فيتكلوا, so they reliant on this. Meaning the Prophet said about them to do more good deeds. So don't tell them as yet. And this is not a forbiddance. This is only to show you that there are certain individuals that will become. And this is not referred to the Sahaba. Sahaba radiallahu anhu, all of them, they would, when they heard this hadith, as you mentioned here, when they heard this hadith, even though they have this bushra, it would only increase them in good actions. And that's why Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, he didn't hold this knowledge with himself. Only he didn't do cutting of it, but rather, just before he passed away, he narrated it. Just before he passed away, he narrated it. Because why? It was a narration from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we wanted to mention that which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had mentioned. And Mu'adh radiallahu anhu, the great companion himself, of the foremost of the Sahaba, he witnessed Badr, the battle of Badr, and the battle thereafter, and great knowledge of the ahkam of the Quran. And he died in the year 18 Hijriya in Sham. Now, in the time of the Khilafah of Umar. And alhamdulillah, we have some notes here from Sheikh Muhammad bin Hadi al-Madkhali, because he used to teach this book. He used to teach 4 books, Sheikh Muhammad, after Fajr on Thursdays. 4 books, mashallah Mubarak. Thursday was the weekend then. And one of the books was this book. And he used to say that, subhanAllah, many of the students of knowledge, they have zuhd, they have abstinence with regards to this shaft of Kitaab al-Tawheed. This is one of the best shuruh of Kitaab al-Tawheed. It's so much fawaid. So we have the notes of Sheikh Muhammad here. And he mentioned here that that Mu'adh radiallahu died at the time of the Khilafah of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu. Another great benefit. Another great benefit is that the Prophet ﷺ, he had this donkey, it was his own donkey. وهو الحمار الذي كان له صلى الله عليه وسلم. That was his form of transport. That belonged to him, and it also said, as Sheikh Sulaiman here said, it's also said that he died, that this donkey died in the last sermon, the Hajj al-Wada, in the last, the farewell Hajj, the farewell pilgrimage. So the Prophet ﷺ was humble. delegates would enter upon him and they wouldn't recognize who is Rasulullah because he was humble. He didn't have anything to distinguish himself in terms of clothes he wore, which is simple. They would enter, they would see Rasulullah, they wouldn't know which one is Rasulullah because he was humble and he rode on a donkey. He was humble. This is the tawadu. And whoever humbles himself to Allah, Allah raises him. And tawadu alillah rafa'ahu Allah. Not like some arrogant people. Arrogant people who look down at others, who would not go on a donkey and ride on a donkey. And will not ride on anything less than what they are able to afford. Rather, they become arrogant. But look to the Rasul and his humility and how he was. Because he came here to call us to the worship of Allah. Do you know what the rights of Allah are? That you worship Him and do not commit shirk with Him in anything. Look at this great benefit of Allah, this great benefit that Shaykh al-Imam mentioned. Look what he mentioned. He said, look how the Rasul mentioned worship in general. Includes all forms of worship. الدعاء والاستعانة والاستغفار والاستعانة والاستغاثة. He didn't specify any form of worship. He said, أن يعبدوه ولا يشركوا به شيئا. He didn't specify any form of worship, but rather he left it in general. Your salah, your qiyam, your qira'ah al-Quran, your fasting. All of that is for Allah. قُلْ إِنَّا صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي. Say my life, my prayer, and my sacrifice. وَحَيَاتِي وَمَمَاتِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي. And my life and my death. لله رب العالمين. The Lord of all of creation. لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. Allah Azza wa Jalla has no partners. The Lord of creation. Not for the Muslims who submit to Tawheed. All of worship comes under this. حق الله على العباد أن يعبدوه ولا يشركوا به شيئا. ولا يشركوا به شيئا. This again consists of all shirk. If they don't commit shirk with Allah in anything, if they fulfill that, Allah will not punish them. Allah will not punish them. However, Abdulilaah Lahmaamee, he said, however, if a person is upon Tawheed and not upon shirk, he will enter paradise. But what about if he has major sins? What about if he has major sins? Allah won't punish him. Is that the question? Is that the answer? No. It depends. If he comes with major sins and is a person of Tawheed, then he will be under the will of Allah. If Allah wills, He forgives him, and if Allah wills, He punishes him. And there are many verses to show that. Many verses to show that, and to prove. A hadith to prove that, which will come to inshallah. Which will come to. So continuing, Hafiz ibn Hajar rahimahullah, he explained this, and he said, اقتصر على نفي الإشراك لأنه يستدعي التوحيد بالاقتداء ويستدعي إثبات الرسالة باللزوم. إذ من كذب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقد كذب الله، ومن كذب الله فهو مشرك، وهو مثل قول القائل من توضأ صحت صلاته. So that is being upon shirk, he says. It's similar to someone saying, if you have no wudu, your prayer won't be accepted. If you have wudu, your prayer will be accepted. So if you are upon shirk, how will you be accepted to enter Jannah? Jannah is for the tayyibin. Jannah is for the tayyibat. Jannah is not for those who have these left of shirk. And as for those who have made the sins, as we said, then This requires that the people will tell that. Allah is going to accept it as it is. It doesn't. So the Prophet has to be cleansed. As Ibn Qayyim Allah said, he has to be cleansed of his sins before entering Jannah. Before entering paradise. And then there are some verses that were mentioned regarding this. The next chapter is ut-Tawheed. والله يكثر the chapter regarding the superiority of Tawheed, and that which nullifies sins, that which expiates sins. And then we come to the verse of Al-An'am, verse 82. الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون.
عفوا أخي, can you get closer to the mic, inshallah?
And they do not spoil their belief. They do not clothe their belief with oppression. They are the ones who have an element, security, and they are the ones who will be guided. They are the ones who will be guided. Here, Imam Sulaiman mentioned that what Now, in continuation, so the end of chapter 1 ends with hadith of Mu'adh radiallahu anhu. The beginning starts off with the fadl of Tawheed, yani the superiority of Tawheed, its virtues, and that which expiates it from sins. So what are the sins that expiate Tawheed? Mentioned to us in Surah Al-An'am, verse 82. الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون. Those who believe and do not taint or clothe or spoil their belief with oppression, they are the ones who will have security, and they are the ones who will be guided. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, when this verse was revealed, the Sahaba said, which one of us doesn't oppress himself? So the Prophet said, إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. What is not that, is not any zulm that is this verse is referring to. It's not any oppression, but rather it is as Luqman said to his son, يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّ الشِّرْكَ لَظُلْمٌ عَظِيمٌ. That is the oppression that was referred to, and that is the severest, the major of all oppressions, and that is to put shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what will spoil your salah. That is what will spoil your zakah. That is what will spoil altogether if you are upon shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the same explanation that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was going to mention. That zulm here means a shirk. Because there are different types of oppressions. But the oppression referred to in Surah Al-An'am verse 82 is the oppression of shirk, which will nullify all your deeds. Imagine all your life you're doing so much good. Imagine that. All your life you did so much good. And you did shirk with Allah, khalas, all that good gone. Who said? Allah said. Allah said, وَلَقَدْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ وَإِلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ فَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ وَلَتَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. If you were to commit shirk, you make your deeds become null and void. And Allah already mentioned in Surah Al-An'am, after 18 prophets and messengers. See if you can find that verse. After 18 prophets and messengers. He mentioned a great verse. And I'm going to read it to you. Because by Allah, the Quran is beautiful. And by Allah, this is a great reminder for all of us. I want you to hear these messengers being mentioned. وتلك حجتنا آتيناها إبراهيم على قومه نرفع درجات من نشاء إن ربك حكيم عليم ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب ونوحا هدينا من قبل ومن ذريته داوود وسليمان وأيوب ويوسف وموسى وهارون وكذلك نجزي المحسنين وزكريا ويحيى وعيسى وإلياس كل من الصالحين وإسماعيل واليسع ويونس ولوطا وكلا فضلنا على العالمين ومن آبائهم وذرياتهم وإخوانهم واجتبيناهم وهديناهم إلى صراط مستقيم ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء من عباده ولو أشركوا لحبط عنهم ما كانوا يعملون. Such is the guidance of Allah. He mentioned after 18 prophets and messengers, such is the guidance of Allah. That He guides whom He wants from His servants. And if they were to commit shirk, if these prophets and messengers were to commit shirk, then these will become null and void. Everything and anything that they have done will become futile, will become void, will become nullified. Subhanallah. ولو أشركوا لحبط عنهم ما كانوا يعملون. To show you the severity of shirk, that it nullifies and ends your deeds. So each and every one of us must check themselves. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to at night supplicate to Allah, اللهم إني أعوذ بك أن أشرك بك شيئا نعلمه واستغفرك لما لا أعلمه. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in committing shirk with you knowingly, and I ask for forgiveness in committing shirk with you unknowingly. Salam said shirk for himself. رب اجنبني وبني أن نعبد الأصنام إنهن أضل كثيرا من الناس. Oh our Lord, protect me, secure me, protect me away from worshipping the idols, for they have indeed misguided many people. So therefore, you want aman, you want security, you go to Tawheed. You want guidance, you go back to Tawheed. With ikhlas, with sincerity, with that, inshallah, you will be free away from that severe destruction of being in the hellfire forever. And you have hope in the akhirah. You have hope that you are from Tawheed. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ikhlas. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who always check themselves, always worried that actions are not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah forgive us our shortcomings. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu sallam ala khayri khalqi Muhammad. Wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
نعم أخي.
بارك الله فيك. حياك الله.
بارك الله فيك. جزاك الله خير.
جزاك الله خير.
السلام عليكم.
شكرا.